Welcome to the HuskGuys podcast.
What's up, everybody? It is July 15th. The HuskGuys are back. The Huskers are back. We haven't been having podcasts in a minute. We've been traveling, doing a whole bunch of stuff. But we are back, very back. The juices are flowing. The media days are cranking up. And that little, the hair is standing up on your arm. And I think it's time to get back into it. What do you think?
Yeah, it's showtime. I mean, July is awesome. It's like nothing real has happened. It's literally all words. It's Big Ten Media Day. All words. It's all, what's the coach say? What's the players say? What's this media member say? What did Joel Klatt say? 10-2. That's what he said. That's what he said. I heard that. It's all vibes from here. So, yeah, excited to get into it. We're going to do a big old recap of the offseason, our offseason victories, our offseason. Maybe there's a couple losses mixed in there and stuff, but going to start getting ramped up, juiced up for the season here.
Yeah, quick word. Sponsor-wise, guys, check out HuskGuysStore.com. We had a massive sale of these Tom Osborne hats that are still on the site, HuskGuysStore.com. We got the off-season title shirts. We got a whole bunch of other fun stuff. So check out HuskGuysStore.com. I want to start with this. I was just home in Nebraska, as you know, with that mom and dad's house. And we're brothers, for those who don't know, Andrew and David. I brought this back, which I'm pretty pumped about.
What do we got?
This is a hilarious football that I found because it's awesome. It was on a rim, so I took it. It might be yours. I don't know. 95 back-to-back national champions football, but it's signed by Jerry Taggy and Tommy Frazier, which doesn't even make sense. Awesome. Which is why it's awesome. Is Jerry Taggy did not play on that team, but definitely signed by him. And so this thing's going up in the it's going up in the office. So I'll have a cool backdrop here at some point. So I kind of was like
those things, it's like getting those, like it's like a Shohei Ohtani, but it's spelled wrong or something.
Yeah, well, I think this would be more like a Shohei Ohtani signing like a Dodgers World Series ball. Doesn't even make sense. It's like not even the right a Dodgers like 86 ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was pretty pumped about it. Good to be good. The vibes are good in Nebraska. Let's talk. Hype wise, I think that's one of the reasons. Like you said, Joel Klatt. He said 10-2.
Yeah.
Which, he cracks me up because he's always like just feeling the Kool-Aid. And I think these guys all know they can obviously just like throw stuff out there and like people, Husker fans are going to go nuts for it.
Yeah.
But he said it. And then what didn't Sipple say like 9-3? We've got some juice going, which when people come out
9-3 and Sean Callahan said 8-4.
Sean Callahan 8-4. We've got that's three folks, and there's somebody else.
JD Pickle went with 9-3.
There's 9-3. That's the best part of the offseason is I think there's a grind period that occurs from January, February, March, because everybody remembers that we lost all of our games in November. Yeah. And then over time, you forget that we lost all of our games in November and most of our games in October, most of the games throughout the course of the season. You just forget these things. Mm-hmm. And you remember stuff like this and you're like, oh yeah, they did they did some stuff and their tradition and they're powerful and rules, doing his part to get the hype going, and everybody forgets. And then July rolls around and they're like, maybe they will go 10-2. Well, yeah, we haven't done that in 14 years, but
I love where we're at right now. I love that the vibe is starting to pick up. It's starting to move the right direction. We've got people realizing that we have 3 new coordinators. Everyone loves Holgerson, of course, but Eckler, you literally cannot make a better hire for a literally could not be worse special teams unit. And then John Butler and everything too. We're in a good spot. We're going to run through everything kind of front to back here. What do you want to get into before that? You want to get into your Osborne comment that's now getting blasted on Twitter?
I blasted on Twitter and it got some pretty good interaction. And I think about this all the time. So Nick Saban, the rumor is he's flirting with coming back, and who knows how true that is.
So insane, first of all.
These guys are coming back. Belichick is back. So Saban's 73. This is what got me thinking about this. Saban's 73. He retired for one season. He got bored. He's already trying to come back. Belichick retired for 2 seasons, and he came back. He's 73. Very oddly, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, Mac Brown, and Pete Carroll, all 73 years old. All of them retired in some capacity, came back, got new jobs. Mac Brown's still coaching. Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick. They're all 73. Osborne retired at age 60 in 97. And everyone was like, yeah, he is, so old. And it's like over the last 10, 15 years, like no one retires at age 60 anymore. It's like people are coaching into their 70s. They're, doing all sorts of stuff in their late 70s. So it got me thinking of like, man, if he had not stopped, what happens? Right. And so then, basically what I put out was if he had coached, he would have coached all the way through 2010. So that would have been Osborne carrying us through instead of the Pelini, or not the end of the Pelini, beginning part of the Pelini years, all of Callahan, and then all of Solich. So like all of that would have been taken up with Osborne. Who knows how he would have adjusted? But it would have been nice to see. It would have been nice to like.
I mean, you could argue that that would be the single greatest economic impact in Nebraska state history.
I mean, so realistically, you would have.
You bring a couple more titles because. Well, I'd just be thinking about like conference title or conference membership is switching at that time. Recruiting budgets are going crazy at that time. Like as you get into from the late 90s into the mid 2000s, the game starts like completely changing in terms of viewership, dollars, contracting. It's kind of almost like the whispers of NIL and everything started around then as well. And like eventually bagmen started to become like more and more publicized and stuff as well. I think that actually I think he's the greatest coach of all time, and he retired at the right time and he made the right decision. And this is strictly just hypothesizing, like the air raid and everything that like, Holgerson was bringing in those late 2000s and stuff was sort of a threat at that time, but we were already one of the last teams that was kind of doing the option and through into the late 90s, early 2000s. The game was just changing, and I think he just got out at the right time. I actually don't know that we would have dominated like we did, but I do know that we would have stayed far more relevant than we did. And if we stayed far more relevant, like what happens with Steve Peterson? Does Sean Eichhorst ever come popping his head around? Like,
well, I think that's
changes the whole outlook on the athletic department. So
that's probably closer
interesting
to
thought.
Like, does he win? Yeah, I put that he wins 7 more titles. Probably doesn't do that. But I do think, you stay consistent through 98, 99. You probably, are you more competitive in 2001? Like we still got back to the title game in 01.
And it, like, to be clear, like consistent is all we needed to continue to basically be competing with Alabama and Ohio State.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's
like, if you think about what Callahan did to us, and just like that's years of futility going into the early 2000s.
Yeah, and like
Pelini tried to repair.
Are we going to beat these peak Miami, Florida, Texas teams that had Reggie Bush and USC and Steam and like the Alabama dynasty starts at that time? Maybe not, but like I would guess that he goes at least 8 to 10 wins that entire time.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thought because I feel like maybe we were too young to like remember, but like he just retired and it's like, yeah, he's done. There was never this like Nick Saban 73 and they're like, he might come back. You're like, dude, 73. You're like, what are we doing? Like, let him retire.
We need some term limits or something.
I feel like Osborne was like, let's have him come back as the athletic director. It's like that doesn't help. We don't need that. We need the guy in the weight room. Anyway, that was my fun hypothetical to start. But hype train wise.
Yeah, let's talk. So the train, obviously, it leaves the station basically the minute the bowl game ends, because immediately you're starting to digest. I found an article today when I was trying to prep things up for this from it's like the Hastings Inquirer or something ridiculous. Don't even know if it's a legit source, but on December 29th, they wrote an article about their 2025 Nebraska predictions. They were getting geared up and ready for the next season, basically the minute that this game ended. They projected 10-2, which is great to see, but with a big win over USC. Anyway, that is when things start because you start to notice, who's going to be on the team, who's going to be off the team. So I broke things down from our off season. It starts with the transfer portal. Like anymore, it's who's going to stay, who's in, who's out. And what I was looking through today, like as spring ball has gone on and as we're getting into like the summer camp and stuff, you start to hear some names that are said over and over, and like who's going to be the projected 2 deep, who's the immediate impact players. And I think that this transfer cycle, like this actually might be the most hits or the highest hit percentage that we have had on transfers so far, like just in terms of the volume that are going to be contributing right away. The day one starters that you could very easily see could include, I would say, at least 9 transfers that are solid players. Marcus Watson Trent at linebacker, Desan McCullough, another linebacker, Spindler and Pritchett on the O-line. Kicker, we have no idea, but for some reason we did bring in a transfer kicker, Kyle Cunanan. So he must see maybe there's a role for him. I have no idea. Archie Wilson, technically not a transfer, but he's coming over to us from Australia. He's an international transfer or a country transfer and a sport transfer. It's going from rugby to football. Dane Key, Isaiah Hunter, Andrew Marshall at D-back, Williams Nwaneri at D-line, and then plus or minus maybe Jalen George. I've heard that they like him and they like what they see, so he'll probably be factoring into the 2 deep at least.
So it's at 9
so that's 10.
9 out of 22?
That's 9, maybe 10. We had 17, but Hardly Gilmore was hardly on campus, and he lasted for 1 month. And so we're at 16. So 10 out of 16 potentially are just immediate impact players, I think. So I think that's probably win number 1. What would you say on that?
It's a big win. I think it's a testament. I mean, it's the modern game. Like I think I typically don't like to see that. Like I would much rather, it's like the old school way is like, these are 4th year seniors who have been around the program forever. That's not how this works anymore. Like now you fill gaps with NIL and transfers and like trades and portal stuff. So, I mean, I think they did a good job. Like I think wide receiver wise, probably most excited there just because that was such a freaking gap last year. I think Spindler and Pritchett on the O-line. Also a gap. So it's like
our transfer last year was Banks and Nair. Banks was solid. Nair was an airhead that
he's okay. Gold. Dane Key's going to be extremely good.
But Dane Key and Isaiah Hunter is an immediate upgrade, I think, right?
Yeah, that's a smash hit home run at those 2 guys, and I think O-line smash hit home run. I mean, to get an Alabama guy and Notre Dame guy, like, just guys who've been in programs and know how to win, that's massive win. Dane Key's played for 4 years.
And then maybe the most under-talked about star transfer in the country in Williams Nwaneri.
Is it because
he's the highest ranked player on our team?
I mean, it's because of
highest ranked recruit we might ever have. That is now, he's 1 year removed from being a top. I think he was a top 5 player on some sites.
Is it because Mizzou spread so many like bad rumors about him? Is that like? I can't figure that either because
so his high school coach and his like connections to the Mosey crew coming up here and stuff as well. So KC area guy. I mean, that's at least one of the connections that.
I hope he rips some heads off.
Yeah, I mean could be absolutely huge if you put an NFL rush end out there. So speaking of 5 stars, here's my favorite trivia that I found out by looking through our roster.
Trivia.
Because win number 2, I would say, it has to do with the transfers and stuff, but has to just do with roster management. Like I think Rule he seems like it's weird as a Husker fan to see a coach right now that actually has a plan and actually seems like there's like a strategic enterprise going on here.
He didn't pick the wrong job.
God, Jesus Christ. We'll get into that. But we currently on the roster, per 247 sports rankings, we currently have 7 former 5-star players on the roster. 7.
Who are they?
Turner Corcoran.
Yeah.
Dylan Raiola.
Yeah.
Elijah Pritchett.
Pritchett was a 5-star?
Yeah. Out of high school. Desan McCullough was a 5-star.
Yeah.
Carter Nelson. Nwaneri. And then Rocco Spindler.
Rocco was a 5-star.
Yeah. These dudes are I'm looking at the 247 sports our roster. Anyway, if you use those same rankings and you go back through the 247 sports rankings, and we go back from 2024 through 2018, the second highest amount of 5 stars that we've ever had on a roster since 2018 was last year. Before that, we have never had more than 2 5 stars on our team. So 2023, we had 2. 2022, we had 2. 2021, we had 2. 2020, we had 1. Now, that 1 counts 5 times. It's Turner Corcoran.
I was going to say Corcoran.
We only had 1 additional 5 star.
Corcoran's been here for a decade. I couldn't even.
MJ Sherman was the last 2 years.
MJ Sherman. Tyjon Lindsey's in there somewhere.
Tyjon Lindsey was 2018. He was the only one we had, and in 2019 we had 0.
I was going to say Lindsey was he was the only recruit.
And again, it's not like the be all end all, but if you're looking for like, hey, what's a measure of top end talent? Like at least, like you typically don't miss on 5-star guys. It's very easy to overlook a 3-star guy when they're coming out of high school, and it's like, yeah, I just maybe didn't see him enough, played for a smaller school, whatever. But if you're ranked 5 stars, there's generally a consensus that like about a third of them make it in the NFL as draft picks, and that's not including like free agent signings and stuff. So I think that's pretty exciting.
That's a great stat. I mean, it's good recruiting. It's good NIL work. It's like, I think it's what I hoped would happen with NIL when it first started. It was like, all right, we can buy our way. Like we got money, we got people, we got passion. Like you can buy your way to the top. Put yourself a roster together. When, all those previous years, it was like our pitch is not as strong. But those are good position players. They're at positions of need. To have a 5-star QB helps. I think Rayola being a recruit helps a ton.
The second part of the roster management too is like what you kind of noticed last year is they were much more strategic with their red shirts, which like Rule kind of commented on at some point during the season. He's like, there's other coaches out there that say just play these guys like they're all going to transfer anyways. But he says, like, I'm still going to coach how I know how to coach, and I'm still going to, manage this how I know how to manage it. If they want to transfer in the end, fine. But his basic point was like, we hope to keep you around. We hope that you see a red shirt as an investment in yourself. So you have Riley Van Poppel coming back as possibly one of the single most important defensive players that we have, but we get an extra year out of him because he redshirted last year. And then some other red shirts that were that are probably going to be contributors this year as well that we now get an extra year out of. Grant Bricks, remember him? He was our highest ranked O-line recruit in a bit last year.
He's a 5-star now. Was he? If talking about 5-star, is he like a super high 4-star?
But he was like a high 4, and it was an intense battle. Like we backed a semi truck up to his high school to try and land him.
Quite literally.
Demetrius Bell, Preston Tamua, Benning, Gibson Pyle. We late in the game snagged Mac Markway last year, a tight end out of LSU. And he was a 4-star himself. And then Bly Hill, who was going to be starting at defensive back last year.
Yeah.
He ended up redshirting. So anyway, I think that's all signs of just like we're actually building our depth. Like these guys are now around for another year. They've got more experience. And that should excite everybody that this fall camp is going to be an intense one.
Yeah, I think especially once practice starts, everybody gets like fired up. I think it'll be interesting to see how these guys have healed from injury, have healed from red shirts, have bulked up, all of this stuff that goes into a red shirt year, which again, being like the old school, like we always used to love red shirts. Like these guys would show up and like, like didn't sue, like people like sue red shirt. Like your best players used to red shirt. And now it's like, everybody transfers so quickly, but one extra year of college weightlifting, of being on like that. Bly Hill would be outstanding. Riley's massive. Like, Demetrius Bell, hopefully he's all healed up.
Right.
It is crazy to like look at these names too that we didn't have a spring game. I'm feeling significantly more disconnected from these players because like they didn't have that one quick burst in the spring to be like, oh yeah, remember Demetrius Bell?
Totally. Yeah. Like he takes a slant route like 12 yards and you're like, okay, this guy.
Yeah, you need something.
All American.
Yeah, that's why it'll be as soon. What day does practice
Just come
start?
up with wild conclusions. But he was a former 4-star himself too. So, and he's coming back, and like people have kind of forgotten about him because it's the new faces in town. Like, what are the new shiny toys around? Which
what day does practice start? Monday? No.
Don't know.
God. All right. Now
Speaking of new toys, though,
now I'm getting all checked up.
We got some incoming freshmen that we probably need to do a better job online hyping up a little bit here. Get the Kool-Aid going, just ripping shots.
Who we got?
I mean, we got some immediate studs that are coming on campus here. I got Dawson Merritt, Cortez Mills, Christian Jones, Isaiah Mosey, and possibly Jamarian Parker. In addition to, for two deep players, or two deep, nominees, Malcolm Simpson on the D-line, Jeremiah Jones being described as a freaky athlete. Love when people use freaky. Whenever they're saying he's a freak, that's normally a good sign. And then Tyson Terry out of Omaha North. This is a deep wide receiver room, and our linebacker room with Merritt and Christian Jones. Like, this is the foundation of the defense for the
Dawson Merritt's outstanding.
I mean, this could, he flipped him from Alabama late in the game. And then the final thing about roster management that again kind of goes underrated here is like people always are looking for like who's new, like give me the new shiny toy and stuff. Deshaun Singleton, Marcus Buford, Malcolm Hartzog, Sierra Wright, all of them being back as defensive backs, upperclassmen. That's going to be a strength of our defense right there. Javen Wright is his 7th year. 7th year linebacker.
He's back, baby.
But that's huge to have him around with like so much change, to have some reliability. O-line, we've got Corcoran for year 15. Teddy Prohaska, he's coming off of his 17th knee surgery. Justin Evans, Henry Lutovsky. And then on D-line, you've got Judy. And like all of these guys it's just so important to have like those steady rocks that are anchoring each like different position group that's out there, like to have some sort of reliability, like somebody that understands rule and the coaching staff, somebody that's been at Nebraska. Like, we can talk transfers all day, but those guys, like those seniors, I mean, 7 years, you would think that Javen Wright knows what he's doing at this point.
At least knows the plays.
I mean, he's got a PhD in Nebraska football.
So good. That's a good list of I mean, again, it's like I knew these freshmen. Now I'm like, you see all the names pop up. It's like, I know the names of all these players and where they're from and their parents' names, but I haven't seen them play. The spring game, taking that thing out, it's like, I never got that burst from Cortez or Mosey or any of these guys. Like, this will be the most interesting fall camp because of that. I think because we just haven't seen any of these guys. We haven't seen any of the portal players. We haven't seen any of these freshmen. You have no idea what's going to happen. There's going to be, a catastrophic injury somewhere, and somebody's going to have to step up, and you don't know where it's going to happen and who's going to do it and how these guys shape up and how did the red shirts guys come back? How do the portal guys come back? Are they going to be fun? But it's definitely like you can't even put together a 2 deep because you don't even know who's like on the team.
Well, it's like exceptionally difficult, and like, the thing that gets me and my brain into 9-3 and 10-2 and even talking that is just like looking at the roster construction and realizing like this is one of the deeper teams that Nebraska has had in probably 5 to 10 years. Like, there's some positions that are definitely some positions that are thin. But when was the last time that you could say, okay, at each different position group, we've got a construction of a new impact player, a trusty veteran, and maybe an impact freshman? Like, it's been a little while since you could really say that. And the one position that actually probably scares me a little bit on injuries, other than Rayola, of course, is running back.
Yeah, Jesus.
Like, you lose Emmett, and then you've got 0 returning carries behind you. So there are ways that this season could absolutely go off the rails. There are. Like, you lose EJ or you lose Rayola, and it's like, okay, I have no idea. I literally have no idea what happens next. I like who's behind him, but like you said, it's like, I've never seen him. I've only seen Quentin Ives take like a 2-yard carry for a touchdown in the Pinstripe Bowl. Like, that's the only thing I know about him.
Yeah, it's it'll be fun. I think the hype that is brewing right now is completely, it's hilariously made up. Like the Joel Clark thing. He's just like looking at the roster, he's looking at the schedule and he's just like, yeah, they should beat Minnesota. And you're like, we don't even know who's on our team. How can you say we're going to beat Minnesota? You don't know that.
The preview magazines aren't even out yet.
Like nobody even knows who's on the roster. Nobody knows who a freshmen are going to play. But I think when you do anchor in on like year 3 rule, year 2 with a 5-star quarterback, with a better, and you've upgraded or fixed all the things that were broken, right? That's the best part of the offseason is, our offense stunk. Got a new offensive coordinator. Oh, special teams stunk. Got a new special teams coach. Our wide receivers stink. Got more wide receivers. And you're like, oh, that should be 7-6 to 8-5 to 9. Like,
yeah, you just keep looking at stars, and eventually you start seeing stars in your eyes, and then it's over. You're just like, you're off the deep end, and you're just absolutely drowning in Kool-Aid. Just Kool-Aid's depositories. You're going above and below. It's great.
I think if Eckler, is it Eckler or Eckler?
Eckler.
If Eckler, like, that to me is such a big hire in the sense of, like, I think Holgerson will be exciting. That'll be fun. I'm nervous that Rail is like not the right quarterback for him, but that's like I just think he's better with like the run and gun QBs, but I think he'll make it work. Eckler is like,
did pretty well with Case Keenum.
That's true. That's good.
Set some all-time records.
Take Case Keenum. I'll take that kind of a year. I was just gonna say that Eckler we will be playing good football is what Eckler is, right? And like that will like the biggest sigh of relief to not lose games over failed punt returns and missed field goals and like hopefully like better punts. I think that is what gives you more confidence when you look at the schedule and it has UCLA's in there and it has the Northwesterns and Minnesotas and Maryland's. It's like,
Dave, we had 10 kicks blocked last year, or punts and kicks combined. 10.
It's really bad.
Like,
I mean, we haven't had a kicker that can consistently make extra points and field goals in a decade. So it's like, all right, you fix those, you stop getting things blocked, you like stop screwing up like the basic things.
100%.
Then you look and then you start making a run. Could happen.
Next offseason win for the Skurs, which kind of started last year. Memorial Stadium, big storyline. They are putting the kibosh on Trev's stupid plan.
Yeah,
started last year, but South Stadium lives to see another year.
South Stadium lives.
East and West stadiums they're supposed to start renovations in after this season, so we get I guess another year of reasonable normalcy around Lincoln.
Perfect. Speaking of Trev, I spent a lot of time on Texas A&M message boards.
Good. Great. That's where you belong.
It's
good to pop in there once in a while and just let them know what's up.
They are way worse than us, way more irrational.
Yeah.
I specifically will go into the message boards or just onto Texas A&M Twitter, and I'll just read like #fire Trev Alberts, just super healthy, like mental health type stuff. I'm just like, I just want to see.
Yes, give me more.
Like, I told you. Do it because their baseball team didn't make the tournament.
That's Trev's fault.
After going, because he hired that new coach and like completely botched the hiring process. And I don't know. I cheer for their downfall, and I'm glad his plan is falling apart on the stadium. And I just don't. Anybody that turns their back on this program should not. They should not have a stadium. Yeah. They should not have success.
Burn them to the ground. Even though I still have a soft spot in my heart.
We can burn you to the ground. You don't get to like
Yeah,
burn. You don't get to burn us to the ground. Like we will take your career, Bo Pelini, and we will destroy it. Mike Riley, like we will crush you.
Best that we can.
Frost, Riley, all of them. We'll crush all of your guys' careers. But you don't get to leave here and be mad at us. You know, like that's not how this works. We are the only place where your career can go to die.
Speaking of Memorial Stadium, another big win. Vowels and Runs are back.
Yeah, they were gone.
I think you were over in Europe when they
were gone, but now we're back.
We are back with Vowels and Runza. They met a deal with Aramark Concessions, I believe.
So they left, but now we're back.
They were like, we're trying to sign some deal and stuff. So some people might not have even realized that they were on their way out, but they had to make some concessions with the concession guys. So
it's a pretty
figured it out.
It's pretty hilarious.
Runs are back.
It's a hilarious concept, and like they've done a brilliant job just ingraining themselves in into tradition and football history in the state of Nebraska.
We can't win without them.
You can't win without him. Well, you haven't exactly been winning.
Can't win with them.
That's exactly been a.
Maybe we should fire him. I don't know.
It was just so funny. Of like, you could see that this concession company comes in from New Jersey or whatever, and they're like, why do you guys only have? How come you guys only have 2 things of food and then a giant box of M&Ms? That's the only options. It's the entire stadium. Like, what would you guys like? Some, I don't know, like burgers or like we can make up some delicious.
Just a bag of licorice and a hot dog.
and a Pepsi, and that's all you get is those 4 things. Like you could see a concession guy being like, "Wait, there's 90,000 people here, and you have this weird hamburger thing." Yeah, that like is sort of good. I don't really understand what that's a hamburger. Like, what if we just got you guys some like French fries and like pitchforks
and like the like third best thing that people like is like the popcorn, which is like
$9.
Solid, good deal, $5. But
steal.
God, we definitely needed some variety.
I mean, there's probably some. Yeah, just it's funny to think about anybody coming in like, this is all you have. It's a slice of pizza and it's $6. What is it?
It is going to be funny to see like the new concession concepts they come out with, because you know, like Aramark's going to try and do like some modern stadium, like here's your shrimp cocktail, and it's like Husker fans are going to be like, I like poking themselves in the neck with it on accident, like we had no idea what to do with these things. Like just give me my Runza.
Give me the Runza. Just give me. Hopefully, is there a 9-year-old here that I can buy it from?
No, that's one of the off-season losses. Did you hear that?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna have to move into those. So one of the off-season losses is Aramark does not employ people under 18. They don't believe in child labor, which is absolutely silly.
Why?
These 9-year-olds need to work.
How are they going to make money?
How can they afford grade school?
What do you mean?
They literally are not hired. So now it's going to be all these 18-year-olds getting on TikTok and serving me up my Runzas. And stuff.
Hey, Nico.
So dumb. So
So are they going to have to pay them?
Scandalous.
They have to pay them?
I think they have to pay them a reasonable wage too.
Well, they're going to lose all their margin.
I think they have to like actually give them a base salary.
The average age of the concessions is either 9 or like 84. There's like some guys
nothing. Some like dads just like went to the game and like made their sons work it. They were like, I don't have a ticket for you.
I don't have a babysitter.
A babysitter, but you can sell Valentinos up and down the aisle.
If you make enough money, then you could watch the game, but mostly you need to sell cotton candy.
The heat index is only 110.
Yeah, just walk the stairs.
Here's a miniature oven to strap onto your shoulder. It goes sits right on your stomach.
And you just have to pass the money back and forth. Down. Didn't they say there's like no cash accepted anymore too, or something crazy?
Yeah,
they've been doing that for a minute, but
no cash, no child labor. It's really been a kind of a modernized experience.
I'm sure we're like the last stadium in the country that's like doing these things. And these guys showed up and they're like, wait, you have 2 foods, it's served by 18-year-old or 14-year-olds, and you only accept cash, and they have to pass it down. They have to pass it down 64 people in order for you to get the cash back, and then that person's got to pass it. Yeah, that's the most ineffective thing I've ever heard. There you go. Okay, well, I'm in on most of those things.
So that was loss number one. Here's some other downsides. What do you think about recruiting lately? You've been keeping up?
Yeah, I mean,
so some big wins in June. Big wins in June. Claude and Puma, 4-star O-lineman, top 200 player or top 150 player, I believe. Big gets. But we are currently 64th in the composite recruiting rankings.
I know, not optimal.
Here's my grain of salt, positivity. Last year, Dawson Merritt,
yeah,
Cortez Mills,
yeah,
Christian Jones, Isaiah Mosey, our top 4 recruits, all committed in August or later.
Right.
It is not time to panic. The panic right now, and here's a conversation piece for you, because we can relate to this, but the panic piece is that 3 times in the last 2 weeks we've had people that were high targets committing elsewhere. Calvin Thomas most recently committed to Bill Belichick.
Yeah, tell him about it.
Top 25 linebacker. Jacob Eberhardt committed to Illinois. He's a Midwest guy. I thought we were going to have a pretty good shot at him. And then Darian Jones. Here's one that I'm surprised didn't make bigger waves, I think, because Husker fans are just so nice. So this is the brother of Donovan Jones, Omaha North guy, the D-back. Donovan Jones is going to be a great player this year, by the way. His brother just committed to Iowa, and it was a neck and neck recruiting battle. Nebraska wanted him. I mean, let's be clear. We lost this fair and square. It's fine. I don't know what, if you went to Nebraska, how much shit would you be giving me if I committed to Iowa right now? Would that even be an option?
I don't love it. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's how do you go?
Your brother
sit at a dinner table.
You're literally rivals. You are. How do you go? Yeah, how do you have?
You. I mean, that's your brother, your son, any of it. It's I don't know how you.
That's a lifetime decision.
Yeah, there's so many. It's the rest of your life, the dinner table, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all of it for the rest of forever. It's bleh.
I mean, just how about anywhere but Iowa? Just
the Iowegians.
I mean, come on. I get it if you go play for Phil Parker and stuff, but and if you might have a better chance to go to the NFL, they're developing NFL talent left and right over there. But good Lord, what kind of situations you just put your parents in?
Yeah, don't love it.
Every year.
Yeah, I only think the recruiting still is so weird to me, and I don't know. Even Trey, it's there's so much transfer portal activity, and as you said at the top, we got 10 starters from the transfer portal that I just don't know how much emphasis to put on high school recruiting rankings when you can just sit there and poach a dozen new players a year, 15, 20 new players a year from more seasoned spots. So I don't know. I'm in not panic mode only because I feel recruiting 16 and 17-year-olds is dying a slow death.
Yeah, well, I mean the other big part of the offseason was the 105 roster limit that is supposedly going into effect, because that does impact your recruiting classes and what you're going to do with it. So we knew that this was going to be a smaller class. We might only be adding, I don't know, maybe 5-ish, right around there, more players, end up in the 15 to 18 range probably. So there's not too much more room, but it is time to get picky. It is time to be assertive. You would like to have your class established as soon as possible and get some more peer recruiting going on. But it's going to go into the season again. It's going to go, all the way into December again. That's when we locked down 4 of our top recruits and stuff. Last year was basically from summer camp onward. So not all is lost. But that 105 roster limit is crazy.
Yeah. It'll be again, it'll be like crazy to watch this roster shake itself out with like a limited roster, brand new faces. I mean, it's gonna be like 70 new faces in the fall. It's gonna be like, how do you
It's crazy turnover,
crazy new additions, all the red shirts we haven't seen, the transfer portal kids, all the new freshmen. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna give us a lot to talk about.
Let's talk about someone that is on our roster. I'm gonna let you take this this one. Got this kid Dylan Raiola. He's been turning heads for a little bit. But the offseason hype is the hype meter where you need it to be right now.
Well, I think it's just been interesting to see like how his hype in Nebraska is through the roof. I mean, he goes to the College World Series and it's like, he might as well be Michael Jordan walking in there. It's like he's like absolutely mobbed by tens of thousands of people. You see him on different events. So, I think in Nebraska, he's like the most recognizable face in the state. But outside of it, it's sort of an interesting of like he went from being the number 2 ranked quarterback, maybe behind Lagway,
He was, yeah,
to like a lot of these, preseason rankings. Like he had a good year, not great. He was a freshman.
Yeah.
But you look at any of these rankings, and he's, the one I'm looking at now, the Big Ten quarterback rankings from Andy Staples. He's got him as the 6th best quarterback in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some rankings that he's like outside the top 20 of quarterbacks in the country. And like when you look at these names like Drew Aller at Penn State, Luke Altmaier at Illinois, fine. Fernando Mendoza, unproven. Nico is at UCLA, like probably gave some of the nod, Dante Moore, and then him. And he's ahead of Julian Sand, Bryce Underwood, Devin. So like, I don't know. It's just been interesting of like this kid who came out as the number 2 quarterback is now, I like it in the sense that he's getting maybe humbled a little bit. He's not coming in overhyped, and it's not like he's the number 1 preseason quarterback in the Big Ten and then he falls on his face. But like, it's just interesting that you can have truly the number 1 ranked quarterback who played all 12 games, and to have him kind of not getting a lot of love nationally is how I'd characterize it.
Yeah, I thought that at first as well. But then when you kind of look through like these lists of like, look at this list of quarterbacks, has he earned a top 15 ranking? Nationwide, probably not. Has he earned that a top 10 Big Ten ranking? I think so. Top 5 is it does kind of feel like pushing it. I mean, he did lead the Big Ten in interceptions. I think showed that he has absolutely massive potential. But I just don't like looking at that list. I can't really put him above Luke Altmaier after the year that he had.
Yeah.
I can't put him above Drew Aller.
Yeah.
You can, I think you can safely put him above Dante Moore because he hasn't really played. Nico, pretty questionable. Like Nico also started a whole bunch of games.
Nico took him to the playoff, and he was good.
He's in an okay spot. I just like, obviously when we zoom out a little bit, we are still only seeing Nebraska. We need to zoom out even further just to realize that the rest of the country sees a guy that threw, only 13 touchdown passes. And they're like, why do you think he should be number 1?
Yeah, and I think his numbers were better than Lagway because Lagway didn't play all year, but everybody is like buzzing about Lagway. And I think there's like a little bit of that unknown factor with Lagway, where it's like he only played half the season, and so like you only saw like all the good stuff, and he's got a lot of it's just interesting that there isn't as much like, oh, wait until you see like Raiola's ceiling type thing, like that. I guess that Lagway comparison is interesting to me. Like everybody was so fired up for him, like, oh my God, give him the reins, it's unbelievable. And Raiola's kind of like, it feels like everyone's like, oh, we saw it.
Yeah, like they've already seen enough.
Yeah, but like the jump from freshman to sophomore to junior year is freaking massive. And so that's where I think I'm optimistic, excited about it. Is you're like, it wasn't as good, but he was, he's 18, 19, and like Drew Aller's been playing for 7 seasons, and Altmaier's been there since like World War II. It's like these guys have been playing forever. That maybe he's not ready to overtake them, but
when you look at his peers though, other than Lagway, you've got like the top 6 players in the 247 rankings from 2024. Or the top 6 quarterbacks. Lagway was first. He was above Raiola. Raiola was number 2. Julian Sayin, number 3. Still hasn't started yet. He's at his second school. Transferred from Alabama to Ohio State. Luke Kromenhoek. He started getting some playing time last year. Yeah. He may or may not start for Florida State. They got good old Tommy Castellanos coming in. Walker White is not going to be a starter. He's at Auburn, but he's going to be behind Jackson Arnold, presumably. And then CJ Carr at Notre Dame, who is going to be their starter for the first time. So of that top 6, Raiola, Sayin, Lagway are the only 3, locks for starters. It sounds like CJ Carr is going to start for the first time, but none of the rest of them started every game as a true freshman.
Well, and I think that's where it's interesting in the that's great perspective because of you could probably argue they're more excited for CJ Carr.
Yeah.
They're more excited for Julian Sayin. They're more excited for, right? It's like that unknown factor that maybe we had last year coming into it with Raiola of the unknown of oh my God, what if he throws for 38 touchdowns? Where Raiola has played in the Big Ten, 13 games.
Yeah.
And so, in that context, you should expect he actually has a bigger leg up because none of these guys have faced the competition they faced before. So I guess that's interesting. I think they focus on not that many touchdowns, too many interceptions, maybe not as dynamic as they thought he was going to be, but he also made some big time throws. He had some big wins. He's playing well above his age group.
And he switched offensive coordinators. In the middle of the season, which is unheard of.
Yeah, I just think that's been interesting. I feel like we rode the hype train of Raiola all of last season, and this season it's sort of been it's been a little bit. It's kind of shifted back to rule year 3 talk, and he's got Raiola, but I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I imagine that will pick up dramatically, but more as you look at these lists and people being more excited for Lagway, more excited for CJ Carr, more excited for Julian Sayin, more excited for Luke Altmaier. And you're like, wait, don't we have a 5-star?
I mean, you can't replace experience, and I think that's just going to be so invaluable for Raiola going into year 2.
I think it's great. I mean, I think
preparation is completely different.
I'm glad he's set up. I think he'll hopefully see all these lists and be like, yeah, I should be number 1, and work your way up towards it. Yeah. So I think that'll be good.
Yeah. Moving on, the last 2 kind of, I guess, that we'd file in the not ideal category we'll just jump into it because we just have to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it, but the one guy we used to employ is mad at his employer for hiring him
and paying him $35 million.
His name is Scott Frost, and we paid him a lot of money to go away and just shut up. Where are you coming in on that?
I mean, he has since. I just think he's a dummy. He has since come out and said he's I thought it was off the record, and
so it doesn't count.
Do you know where he was when he said it?
I know it was an On3 reporter that
he was at media days with reporters.
Yeah.
Why would you think that's off the record?
Because if you say the words off the record, you can just say whatever you want after that.
The guy asked him a question while he was standing in front of a microphone.
You have to say the words. Is this one on the record?
He was he's well, there weren't that literally in his brain, he's there weren't that many people in the room, and I thought it was sort of a not, you're wearing a suit and tie.
Talking to a reporter is generally going to be on the record, yeah.
With a microphone in front of your mouth,
yeah, but it wasn't on.
I mean, I that to me is there are 10,000 things you can say in that situation. Hey, I'm focused on UCF. I learned a lot. I love going back to Nebraska. I'm from there. It's fantastic to be back there. My parents are there.
Done.
I was
Easy.
born and raised there. I won a title there. It didn't work out.
It's truly as a softball.
It didn't work out. I'm disappointed it didn't work out. I learned a lot in the last 4 years since I left. I'm excited to be at UCF. I could think of
accountability, leadership. Bam.
I could think of hey, I learned a lot there and I'm going to apply those lessons here. Like there's 10,000 different things I would say before I said, don't take the wrong job.
Okay. And then let's move on to in what world? What irked me about it is in what world circumstantially, we cannot go from right now, the present, and say that retroactively that at that time it was the wrong job, because in what world was this not a good job for him at the time? You had a floundering program and he is booming. His stock is as high as it has ever been. UCF undefeated. You had Nebraska fans going to UCF's freaking bowl game to cheer him on. The love affair was at an all-time high. You have resources. You have from the weight room to the stadium projects to the recruiting you have everything here that UCF has never had. In what world was this the wrong job at that time? I think I get it that he's saying that maybe if you said, I don't think I was quite ready, that's fair. Because he wasn't. And we didn't realize it.
Yeah.
I thought he was.
Yeah.
He's beating SEC teams in bowl games.
It could have been if he worked harder.
Or just there's so many. I mean, the media was pretty nice to him. The media could have written far worse things about him and never did. Fans always had a soft spot for him because of his on-field performance when he was playing. But
yeah. I think he just, it's one of those things.
He's 5-22 or whatever in one-score games. I mean,
I think he is not.
There's no one to blame but yourself here.
Accountability has never been a strong suit of his. I think the entire time he was here, he blamed other people, other things, other factors. Never really took it on his shoulders. And he's doing the same thing there, where he's because he went on to say in that he's don't take the wrong job. It was I didn't want to go, which is also I didn't want I didn't want to go. Then don't go, dude. You're a grown man. You're in your 40s. It's well, people wanted me to. It's they aren't asking you to go out to get drinks. They're asking you to. It's say no. But then he went on to say I learned. He went on to say
he got some drinks while he was here.
Well, he went on to say you can't do it by yourself. It's just were you by yourself? When were you by yourself? You had unlimited support from the athletic director of the department. He just sort of it's almost he misremembers and misplaces everything and is it's we're out to get you. I don't know, but it's I think everybody's kind of sick of talking about it, but it is it's more just for him. He's so dumb with his comments. You're he went from, honestly, enough time has passed that I was I'm going to cheer for UCF. Why not? It's it was 4 years ago. I hope they do fine. And now I'm you know what? I hope that you lose every game. Now you're on my Trev Alberts list.
Each comment that happens, you're just it's getting poked in the eye. You're just what is this? Stop doing this.
Now you're in my Trev Alberts list. Now I'm gonna. Yeah. I have Texas A&M, and I hope they lose every game, and I hope you lose every game.
It's just so petty.
You know what else I hate? I also want to lose every game is Florida State. They're on my list. Those are my list.
Yeah, because James Williams.
Yeah, because he's an idiot, and
he's burning us down.
Yeah, I've got 17 bookmarks from his all of his idiotic comments. But it's
oh my god, how funny is that going to be when they?
Oh my god, all these people need to lose
to BC again.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be okay, yeah. Remember when you said this, idiot? Let's talk. Can we talk about the schedule? I got it.
Yeah. All right. Let's transition. So we are going into. Huge part of off-season time is trying to plan your fall travel. And I am trying to pick out the number one away game that we want to try and get to go to. So I want to rank the schedule in terms of the best atmosphere that you could ask for at a college football game from 12 to 1. Let's get into it. What is going to be this? We'll start with the worst, which is not exciting. But I put these in tiers: the bottom 4 games, the middle 4 games, and then the top 4 games. Like, where would you go with number 12? Like, what's going to be the biggest dud of an environment? Like, probably going to be a snoozer.
Maryland.
Nice. The choice.
Is that right?
Choice.
Is that the right answer?
Right. Could be a close game.
Like, yeah, but that's a nothing. That's a nothing game to me. That will never be anything.
That has got me numb inside just thinking about going to, what is it called? Like HBCU, HVAC Stadium or something out there?
I'm not into Maryland. I think.
Okay, so you have Maryland at 12.
Yeah. What do you have?
Got it. So first home game, second home game. Houston Christian, little FCS game.
Yeah.
11 a.m. against an FCS team. It's in the bottom tier. It's at Nebraska, so I think you're probably right. Like a game at Maryland versus a game at Nebraska. I'll take the game at Nebraska. So maybe Maryland 12, HCU.
Those are both bottom tier because you have to.
Christian has like a CVS like in their end zone. Like their home field.
They're not. I mean,
their home field is open.
Second home game against a bad team, but it's a guaranteed win.
Yeah.
So that's like
game.
You hope it's a guaranteed win.
Yeah,
but the first home game for Akron is going to be hype. Like the Cincinnati game, KC is going to be hype. So those two are probably the two snoozers. I mean, I think UCLA.
At UCLA.
I think at UCLA would be
middle tier or bottom tier.
Well, let me talk through it because so if we need to pick 4 to be bottom tier, Northwestern's probably in that bottom tier.
Interesting.
I would put HCU, Maryland, Northwestern in the bottom tier, and then I put UCLA there only because no one goes to their games. Like I feel like a lot of Nebraska fans will go.
Yeah.
And that will make it awesome, and it's in the Rose Bowl, and that's super cool.
True.
But also by process of elimination, the rest of the games are really good.
So you've got 3 home games then in the bottom tier?
No, UCLA is at UCLA, Maryland's at Maryland.
Right.
HCU. 1, 2,
you don't
3.
have Akron in the bottom tier. Okay.
No, Akron's a good game.
Got it. So Northwestern, HCU, Maryland are 3, and your 4th would be UCLA in the bottom tier.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a fair pick. Middle tier then. This is where things get a little dicey because I think we know the top. Like what we can do is actually go to the top tier here. Because
top tier is.
So what are your top 4 games?
I think home game is Michigan.
Appears to be a part of.
I think home game Michigan, Nebraska, and home game USC, Nebraska are the 2 that I've got circled.
Okay. I've got Penn State actually.
I've been to Penn State
at number 2.
I went to Penn State in 2012.
Okay.
After the Sandusky scandal.
Not a good time to be a Penn State fan.
Was that 2012? I think
not a good time to be a football fan.
But awesome environment. Highly recommend for people to go. So I would say USC, Michigan, Penn State. From an atmosphere standpoint, those 3 plus. I mean, the Kansas City one, I don't know what to do with that one.
I think Iowa.
Yeah, and Iowa's ruckus, as always. But
okay. So
KC, I don't know what to do with because it's like Cincinnati's kind of a weird team to play, but it'd be really cool to play at Arrowhead. And I think it'll be a ton of Nebraska fans there.
Okay. So I think number 1 on the season, like what is our like version of Colorado from last year? It's probably Michigan and Nebraska. It's a 2:30 game. It's going to be, we should be 3-0. Michigan's got Bryce Underwood, 5-star coming into town. It's the Bussin' Bowl. They got I think it is a roll out the red carpet hype train. It's big time.
But they play
1995 reunion.
Michigan plays Oklahoma week 2.
Okay, so Michigan may or may not be undefeated. And
I was going to say if Michigan's 3-0, that makes it even more fun.
It's game day potential. Like college game day could potentially.
Well, that's a game day potential. USC is a game day potential if we both don't suck.
Okay, so Nebraska, Michigan is probably slated as the number 1 environment of the season.
Yeah.
And then we're between Nebraska, USC, and
I put Penn State number 2.
And the Huskers. Yeah, I think Penn State number 2, USC and Nebraska, just like the
Penn
timing
State's,
of it.
Penn State's preseason number 1 right now?
Damn.
So like if that could be a Nebraska versus Penn State number 1 team. Like that's got upset potential on it. That one's good.
Love it. USC's maybe number 3, and then Iowa 4, or
that's
or
fair.
interchangeable.
I think that's fair. I think
interchangeable
that's
there.
Just from a good game, like, you know, if you're ranking them from an excitement, good atmosphere, I want to spend my hard-earned money to watch good games and fun games. But the only caution I have on him is losing. Like, hate going against you lose. It's like that's where it's like this all depends on how you're ranking it. Like if you're ranking it. If you're ranking it from an atmosphere, from a pregame standpoint, from a hype standpoint, you're going to be fired up to be at Michigan, you're going to be fired up to be at USC, you're going to be fired up to be at Penn State, all of those things.
Totally.
But, you know, if you want to, like, get a win, you go to Akron and HCU. If you're like, like, are those the games you pick to go to?
No.
Pretty boring.
Yeah. No, I agree. Those are all going to be absolutely crazy. And for the record, some pundits have ranked our schedule as the quote-unquote easiest in the Big Ten.
That's great.
Which is great. Huge.
That never happens. And we don't have Cincinnati's our non-con, and everybody else is we chickened out on Tennessee and everybody else. That's great.
Gotta love this schedule. All right, so then the middle tier, I mean, I think Cincinnati probably is the top of that middle tier just for the uniqueness of the game.
Yeah, Cincinnati doesn't do a lot for me, but the uniqueness of playing at Arrowhead's pretty freaking cool. And isn't it Friday?
And the whole I can already see it now. It's honestly, frankly, going to be a little annoying. Can you imagine?
It's a Thursday night. It's Thursday night.
It is Thursday night, August 28th. Yeah. And can you imagine the Patrick Mahomes comparisons?
It's pretty horrible.
If he does the Mahomes jump around, like
he's gotta
in Arrowhead,
he's gotta tone that thing down. Like, I hope he matures a little bit, and it's
becomes his own guy.
Just kind of a little bit.
Rayola.
Yeah, just a little less.
Chill it out a little bit. But the other part of that is being at Arrowhead is, I don't know if you saw Jason Kelsey and Travis Kelsey doing their podcast, and they were talking it up about because they're Bearcats.
Well, the Bussin isn't it Bussin versus the Kelsey?
It's at Arrowhead. So
because Kelsey will be there.
Jason Kelsey Travis. Kelsey, yeah. So you got all kinds of just the Huskers with mini Mahomes. You've got the Kelsey brothers on the other side.
So is that going to be the kickoff to college football?
No, it's the first big one of that weekend for sure. But I don't think it's technically the week 0.
Kind of is.
And it's
so Labor Day weekend is going to be week 1, and that doesn't start until 30th. So we're going to be the Thursday. I mean, there's going to be 10 million people watch that game.
It's going to be a lot, and there's going to be a lot of Mahomes action happening. But that one's close to the top. Michigan State versus Minnesota. I mean, the Minnesota crowd is normally not raucous and crazy.
Yeah.
I guess I'd put the Michigan State one above that. It's going to be a weird one. That's a game that we could absolutely lose like we did recently. Yeah, Aiden Childs and whatever. And it could just be one of those weird, annoying losses. Just like the last one we lost to him. It's just
both of those make me laugh from when Joel Klatt just ticks through our schedule. He's like, yeah, you'll beat Minnesota. I'm like,
we're will we?
Buddy, do you not? We haven't beat Minnesota in decades. Literally since Stanley Morgan. I think everybody's oh yeah, Maryland win, Minnesota win, Michigan State. The only ones they got to worry about are USC, Michigan, and Penn State. But from an energy standpoint, fine. It's a fine game, unless Minnesota pulls off one of their 6-0 starts, which I don't think they will. But
it's a great schedule overall. The fact that Cincinnati game got moved from a Cincinnati home game to it was going to be played at Indianapolis. For God's sake, why we would do that, I have no idea. And then it got moved to Arrowhead 3 hours away from us. It's going to be a home game. That worked out pretty well. and then another home game, and then another home game, and then another home game. I mean, it's essentially 4 straight home games to open the year. And then a bye week, and then another home game.
You know what? This is crazy. I think I knew this, but now I'm looking at Minnesota's schedule. So we don't play Ohio State, Oregon, or I guess
our crossover, it used to
be. Or Wisconsin.
We don't play Wisconsin. They're going to stink. So that
kind of sucks.
I wish we were playing them this year, honestly. But yeah.
But that's kind of interesting, like that. I guess. I mean, USC, Penn State, Michigan are like your 3 big ones.
USC, Penn State, Michigan, Iowa are. I think everybody has circled as like these are like the make or break the season games. Like you could go 0-4 in those, and then go 8-0 in the others. And some people would look at the season and say, "Good Lord, they didn't beat anyone." Great.
But it's nice to not have like the guaranteed loss on there of like, all right, well, yeah, you're not going to be Ohio State.
Not beat none of them are guaranteed this year. We got good talent. We are coming back. We got a returning quarterback. We got 7 5-stars, first time ever. We got talent galore. We got new coordinators galore. We got the weightlifting videos are coming soon. That's always fun to look forward to. And everyone just starts marveling over, like, wow, I have no idea, but this guy just looks fast on this highlight reel.
It's the best.
Practice. All of it's coming up. I'm stoked.
Well, to answer this question, we'll jump off. They want to hear realistic ceiling and floor for the season.
Okay. 12-0, 0-12. But
I mean, I would say that. Yeah, I think that 10-11 is like the ceiling in the sense that. Can we finally pull it together for the first time in 10 years, 15 years, and actually like do all of it? Yeah, it's all there. Are we going to, you're not going to win at all 12 games in a Big Ten schedule. It's just so freaking hard. You're going to slip up to a USC or a Penn State or Michigan or like lose a stupid game. But the floor is low. I mean, as Frost showed, like, if you don't have your A game on, you could lose to Michigan. You could lose to Cincinnati. You could lose to Michigan. You could lose to Michigan State. Lose to Minnesota. That's 4. Northwestern always plays us tough. 5, USC 6. Like we lost all of November last year. Like there's you fall apart and you lose all of November games, which is USC, UCLA, Penn State, Nebraska. Penn State, Iowa. That's a no joke November. There's a low floor.
Big Dog Will Trick, thank you for your question, sir. I will tell you right now, I think our ceiling and I mean, when I say ceiling, I mean like we're maybe even above the ceiling here, is 11-1.
Yeah.
The reason being, if you look at this schedule, which again opens up with a pseudo home game and then followed by 4 straight home games that are all winnable, Michigan is not as good as they were 2 years ago. They got a freshman quarterback. It is a roster that overall has more talent than us, but it's a beatable Michigan team. I don't see a reason we cannot go 3-0 against Michigan State, Maryland, Minnesota. However, those are the games that historically we haven't done so great in. Northwestern should be a win. USC, going to have more talent, but good Lord. We made every mistake in the book to let them win the game last year and lost by 1 possession. UCLA, a team that on paper we're better than. Again, we just absolutely pooped in our pants last year. Up an absolute dud. Penn State is the one game that's a team that is further along in their national title hopes for sure. Tons of talent. They got Singleton. They have Katron Allen at running back, Drew Aller, a Heisman candidate at quarterback. Like, that is a solid national title contending team that I don't see us beating, even on our best of days. Every other team you can make a case for.
Yeah.
Like this isn't a season where you'd say, Michigan is a lock to beat us. You can, but realistically, I just see like those 2 games, Michigan and Penn State, as probably our 2 toughest. Iowa's obviously had our number lately. I'm not going to deny that. There's absolutely no reason we should have Iowa beat us with 0 first downs last year. That should never, ever, ever happen again.
I think we do it. I think this is it.
So I like the number 9, but that's our season is 11, or our ceiling is 11 because of that.
Okay. This is a good kickoff show. We got a lot of good stuff going on.
Can you? When I just said the words 11 and 1, what happened inside your body? Because
this whole just even being back on the air has got me all feeling all sorts of ways.
It gave me the willies for a second.
I think
the words 11 and 1. Good Lord.
So thrilled for every victory that I would love to. What if we won 3 games in a row? We haven't done that, and damn, my bar is so low to get me fired up that it's good. All right, folks. It's late. Thanks everybody for listening. We had over 1,000 folks tuning in to the HuskGuys podcast. Check out HuskGuysStore.com. Always good to see you guys. I'm David. This is Andrew. Check you guys soon.